What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video. And what do you think about Football Insider reporting that Jurgen Klopp is not happy at Liverpool? That's what he told his friends privately. Of course he won't come out and say it publicly because he loves his job and he would probably get sacked. But let me know, do you think FSG have backed Klopp enough in the past 3-4 years? Let me know in the comments below. I think the owners need to do a lot more. And also, if you enjoy these videos that I do, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So Football Insider is reporting that Jurgen Klopp told his close friends that he's not happy at Liverpool just weeks ahead of the new Premier League season. The manager, according to Football Insider, is deeply frustrated at the lack of investment in the Liverpool playing squad this summer from the American owners, FSG. And a Liverpool source has told Football Insider that Jurgen Klopp has let it be known that he feels he's not getting the support he needs in the transfer market from FSG. Of course, he's not expected to go public with this frustration and he's not looking to walk out on a job that he still loves. He absolutely loves being Liverpool manager, so there is no danger of Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp walking away from Liverpool FC. But I think the owners need to do a lot more. They need to back Jurgen Klopp a lot more. Supporters are hoping for a late signing or two in the final few weeks of the transfer window are set to be disappointed, according to Football Insider. It is a stance shared by the manager, who was unhappy at the Liverpool board for not giving Jorginho Wijnaldum the long-term contract that he wanted before he quit on a free transfer and joined Paris Saint-Germain. I even said during the season that it would be cheaper to give Wijnaldum a new contract on a 3 or 4 year deal worth 150,000 pounds per week wages than letting Wijnaldum go on a free transfer and replacing him with a 30-40 million pound midfielder. But the owners decided they don't want to give Wijnaldum a new contract. And we will also talk about the Wijnaldum comments and the reaction from the media to those comments later in this video. So Jurgen Klopp is also really bemused and surprised at the contract that was offered to the captain Jordan Henderson, because it looks like the contract talks between Henderson and Liverpool have failed to take off the ground, because Liverpool are pretty much trying to lowball Henderson with a low offer because they don't want to pay a 31-year-old a big contract, even though he is the biggest legend right now at Liverpool and the leader in the dressing room. And that must have frustrated Jurgen Klopp a lot, just like it frustrated a lot of the Liverpool fan base. And Jurgen Klopp also believes that he has not been given the backing in recent transfer windows of his main rivals, most notably Man United, Chelsea and Manchester City. All three clubs have in terms of net spend, have spent way more than Liverpool in the past 3 seasons. If you look at the net spend, Man United and Man City especially are way ahead of Liverpool, but now even Chelsea are way ahead of Liverpool because of spending 250 million last summer on transfers alone. And yes, Liverpool have strengthened their defense with the 35 million pound transfer of Ibrahima Konate. We need to sign more players. We need to sign an attacker and a midfielder as well. And Jurgen Klopp has been told that he has to sell players, fringe players, to fund even the Konate deal, as well as any other potential transfer business. And I think that's pretty much unacceptable at a club like Liverpool, who recently won the Premier League and the Champions League, and we get an enormous amount of sponsorship money, TV money and revenue from the Champions League and the Premier League. Where is that money? How can Man United sign Jadon Sancho for 73 million? 3 million and Varane for 42 million, and also Chelsea and Man City, yes, they have rich owners, but Liverpool should have about the same amount of money as Manchester United in terms of revenue, because we are in stature and in sponsorships pretty much now on a similar level. So how can Man United just easily spend 110 or 120 million on new players and Liverpool can't sign any more players. Maybe, hopefully, Liverpool are waiting for 1 or 2 deals to do in the late stages of the transfer window, but these noises coming out from the media are not encouraging, and I would love to hear your opinion on what they think about this. Liverpool's transfer activity, according to Football Insider, could be very limited because a late major signing this summer is far from likely, as a consequence of the player sales will go to funding the Ibrahima Konate transfer, which I find absolutely ridiculous. And Liverpool are hoping to get at least 60 million from player sales, according to The Athletic, but we absolutely have to sign a replacement for Wijnaldum and also a new attacker. And I just don't believe that Liverpool have as severe money problems. I think that the owners are just very cautious and they don't want to spend it on the wrong kind of players, because we have been burned before by signing the wrong kind of players. Mario Balotelli comes to mind, and Christian Benteke and others. But the Football Insider is reporting that Liverpool have to sell more players if we want to buy anyone. And I think Saúl Ñíguez, Renato Sanchez and Florian Neuhaus and other midfielders are on the market, and if Liverpool wait too long, those players will go to other big clubs, especially other big clubs in the Premier League. That would be worst case scenario if Renato Sanchez and Saúl went to our rivals, and we would be left with the bottom of the barrel in terms of the transfer targets that would be available on the last few weeks of the transfer window. Liverpool don't want to wait too long with these transfers, but hopefully Liverpool are just keeping their cards close to their chest, and hopefully Liverpool are just working behind the scenes on a replacement for Wijnaldum. That is an absolute must. And also it looks like Liverpool want to sell Xherdan Shaqiri. He's very close to joining Lazio, and according to Florian Plettenberg, the price tag is below 10 million euros, which I find absolutely staggering to believe. I don't believe that, because we sold Harry Wilson for 12 million to a championship club, a second division club in England, Fulham, and Shaqiri has the permission to leave Liverpool, but there is no way we would accept 8 or 9 million for Shaqiri. He's worth at least 15 million pounds in today's market. No concrete talks so far regards to transfer by Shaqiri. And I will be honest, I find this report a little bit unbelievable and unfathomable, especially because Liverpool made the Champions League once again. So I find it very unlikely that the player sales that Liverpool are doing would go towards the Konate deal. I think we wouldn't have done the Konate deal if we didn't have the money already in the bank. I think Liverpool, yes, they are on operating under a sustainable, self-sustaining transfer model, transfer policy, but it seems very unlikely that the player sales would go towards the Konate deal. I think they will go towards future transfers, future signings, and I encourage you guys not to lose hope, but I think there is time to voice your concerns on social media, in the comments below. Let the owners know that you want Jurgen Klopp to be backed in the transfer window. And I also want to talk about the backlash that Wijnaldum got for being honest in his interviews when he was asked about why he left Liverpool, and he was pressed continuously by journalists regarding what made him leave Liverpool. The James Pearce, a very famous reporter and journalist working for The Athletic, very famous in Liverpool circles, he said it's important to stress that Wijnaldum wasn't suggesting for a minute that his treatment at the hands of some online trolls and haters convinced him to leave Liverpool. It just played a small part. The reality is that he would still be at Anfield now if the owners, FSG, had returned to the negotiation table with an attractive enough terms. He means 4-year contract probably and high enough wages. Wijnaldum was absolutely loved and adored by the Liverpool fans in the stadium and most Liverpool fans online, as well as the Liverpool squad and Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp repeatedly said that he hopes Wijnaldum will stay at Liverpool because he absolutely loves him. He kept playing him as the starting midfielder at Liverpool until the end of the season, And yes, Liverpool don't have a monopoly on cowards, according to James Pearce, who hide behind the anonymity of social media accounts and target players with abuse when the team's fortunes dip. He will discover that soon enough at PSG, who have a similar but still smaller but still global fan base. However, Wijnaldum has shown a light on what is a major issue for clubs and players who have grown increasingly frustrated at the abject failure of social media companies to properly police their platforms. The argument that these are multimillionaires who should be able to take it, or that it comes with the territory, is ignorant at best. The same goes for those who argue players should just avoid reading the comments on their full posts, and that's what Jamie Carragher said, that Wijnaldum should just not pay attention to social media. He should just ignore the trolls. And I think that is very wrong to say by Jamie Carragher, even though I love him. I think he was one of the biggest legends at Liverpool, but his views on this is absolutely wrong. He should call out fans online who abuse Wijnaldum after Liverpool lose a game. You are not entitled to go on social media and abuse any player. Yes, you can constructively and politely criticize players, but you are not allowed to racistly abuse the players or abuse in any way, and basically send them like really threatening, life-threatening or otherwise threatening messages. Many Liverpool players have been subject to that, and I think there is a very, very toxic culture on Twitter, on Instagram, from probably many young football fans who just don't know better, and because they are anonymous on these platforms, they can write really, really vile, abusive messages. And like, imagine you are a player, and yes, you can earn however much money these footballers earn, but they still are human beings. They still have feelings, they still have a heart, they still have an emotional response. And imagine you open your Instagram or your Twitter and all you see is monkey emojis and banana emojis. When you are a black player or whatever minority, and you get abused, racistly abused, or whatever way abused, it gets to you. No matter how much money you earn, it affects you mentally. And also imagine that you are the family of Wijnaldum, you are his kid or his wife or his father. Imagine seeing those messages on his social media. It must be absolutely sickening, and I think there should be something done about this, definitely. But the problem is that these online trolls don't feel shame probably, and they just have a really awful life, and they get joy from putting other people down. And Melissa Reddy also published a brilliant article on the Independent newspaper, which I highly suggest you read. He said we need to listen to players and people who get online abuse. Wijnaldum conveyed how the online toxicity affected him and fed into the atmosphere, of course largely shaped by a contract offer that did not match his crucial service in terms of length nor pay, and he felt he overstayed his welcome at Anfield. And this is what Wijnaldum said: there was some moments when I didn't feel loved and appreciated at Liverpool, not by my teammates, not by the people at Melwood. I know they all loved me and I loved them. It was not from that side, more from the other side. I have to say that also there was social media. When it went bad, I was the player who they blamed. And also he was talking about the owners. So the owners, or whoever was in charge of Liverpool contracts, they didn't offer him a contract which was worth what he is contributing or what he was contributing at the time to Liverpool. He was a proper starting 11 player, and he should have a similar contract to somebody like Jordan Henderson or Roberto Firmino or Fabinho or Joe Gomez or Trent Alexander-Arnold, and probably Wijnaldum didn't get a contract similar to those players. And Melis already said that Wijnaldum wanted to talk about the hatred that comes from social platforms, because we should not just shrug and say that we accept it. No amount of money or status can shield you from hundreds or thousands of people telling you that you are a shit player, you should get out of Liverpool, you only want money. And that's what the kind of messages Wijnaldum got. And Wijnaldum told us how he felt about this, and some people told him that he's wrong. Jamie Carragher was one of those people, and I felt a little bit ashamed and let down by Jamie Carragher, I will be honest, with the way that he handled this. I think he should have handled it much better and also differently. Melis already said we took his words and twisted them as his defense for leaving to earn the money he deserves at Paris Saint-Germain on a contract that offers him and his family security for the next 3 years. And I will be honest, if Liverpool offered Wijnaldum £100,000 with a 3-year contract, and he's getting £310,000 on a 4-year contract at Paris Saint-Germain, he has every right to turn down that Liverpool contract, because he deserved a bigger contract. That, let's be totally honest, he's only 30 years old, he's not anywhere near retirement. He could play at the top level at least for the next 3 years. And I really hate how these Liverpool owners don't value the players that made Liverpool what it is today, a Champions League winning and Premier League winning team or squad. And Wijnaldum was a big part of that, and he deserved a bigger contract, but the owners didn't give him that, and Wijnaldum did not believe that the contract offer reflected his role in Liverpool's transformation, how much the club depended on him, nor what he can contribute in the coming years. And yes, both parties have the right to their chosen position or stance, and they can count the past 5 years as a supremely beneficial experience. Liverpool didn't match Wijnaldum's value, and Barcelona also dithered and dallied heavily on finalizing a deal. So when Mauricio Pochettino, who already tried to sign Wijnaldum from Newcastle at Tottenham, he came in and finally got his man. So good luck to Wijnaldum. And also it's a shame that the ending wasn't in the best ways. It was a little bit sour with these comments that Wijnaldum made, the online abuse that he got from Liverpool fans. It should never happen in modern society, but that's the big problem that society needs to solve, and we need to educate these people that hating on someone else online will not solve their own problems, and that's not the way to do it. And also Jurgen Klopp has long detailed how changing the philosophy of the Liverpool squad and drowning out outside external noises was his biggest challenge at Liverpool. When he came in, all the questions were straight away to Jurgen Klopp: who will you sign? Who will you sign? It's only because people think with these players you can't win nothing, he says, Jurgen Klopp in a book. But I signed the contract because I thought, oh, Liverpool have a good team. Not a perfect one, obviously, but it's a really good team with talent, with character that needs direction. As soon as I came in, I realized nobody is happy with the team, Jurgen Klopp said, and I realized that the team is not happy with the team. That is a big problem, and I thought, okay, this needs a proper restart. The players were obviously listening to all the voices saying they are not good enough for the club, or that I can't wait to get rid of them. There were a lot of insecure players. I think especially in England, everybody is used to the first thing a manager does to save his own life is to just kick out whoever he can. I needed the time to convince the boys about their own qualities, and thankfully I was given the time. And look at them now, champions of Europe, England and the world at the time. We won all the trophies there is to win in club football, and that's brilliant. And Wijnaldum was a very big pivotal part of those successes. I think we should respect him more, and I wish him all the best at Paris Saint-Germain. I hope he wins many trophies and titles, just not the Champions League, because I want Liverpool to win that, of course. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.